There's a whole bunch of kids now that will be able to look at the TV and be like, I can see myself in that. And so that feels so cool. I feel like it's about time as well. The show like lends itself to diversity in the role.
Ncuti, Doctor Who producer Russell T Davies mentioned he was looking for a different kind of doctor that reflects the complexities of today's world. How did you approach portraying this new iteration of the Doctor?
That wasn't anything that Russell ever communicated to me in the preparation of the Doctor or filming ever. He really gave me a lot of free rein to characterize the Doctor how I saw fit. And it was interesting because I had like this notion of like, there's a correct way to be the Doctor and like, I have to hit that. Am I doing that, Russell? And he was always like, you're fine, to the pair of us. He was always like, you guys are fine, you're great, just do you. He wanted us to really, he trusted us a lot to take the characters where we wanted to. And so I wasn't really aware of that. However, it makes perfect sense, I think, because like the Doctor is a lot more in touch with his feelings than we've seen before, like in a certain way. He allows them to come to the surface a lot more. And, you know, we're in a very emotionally intelligent era than we have been before. And so I guess it's a bit of a reflection of that. Yeah, I was intrigued in preparing him. I was intrigued by like the notion of him being born again time and time again and having this like sense of curiosity and adventure and like excitement about the world. Those are my ins to the character.
And how does it feel to be a part of such a groundbreaking moment in the show's history as its first Black Doctor Who?
It feels just exciting to be a part of the show in general, and to have been cast in general. My family could not believe what was happening, and neither could I, still to this day. So that just feels so exciting, and it also feels very exciting that like that it feels more, I guess, accessible. To like a wider reach of kids. Like there's a whole bunch of kids now that will be able to look at the TV and be like, I can see myself in that. And so that feels so cool. Feel like it's about time as well. The show like lends itself to diversity, and the role of the Doctor lends itself to diversity because it's a shape-shifting alien. So it can be anyone. And Jodie fabulously broke down those barriers before me. Jodie and Joe Martin. And so, yeah, it feels cool to be in this time, here and now. Yeah. We're in the here and now.
Yeah. Millie, what was it like playing Ruby Sunday, and what aspects of Ruby Sunday do you find the most compelling?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think her love and her compassion for people, she's so selfless. I mean, in the Christmas episode, she'd known Lulu Bell for like 2 seconds and she's already risking her life for her on a ladder in a goblin ship. She's just very selfless, and I think Carla has raised her to be that way. And there's very much a certain element of it's not the family you have, it's the family you choose. So I love how her chosen family is so beautiful. And Sherry, her nana, it's like it's such a gorgeous dynamic in that Sunday home. So yeah, I really love the uniqueness of her backstory, I think. And yeah, I think her characteristics are really compelling in their own way. She's curious, she's feisty, she's thirsty for an adventure and for her own answers. So yeah, I've had the pleasure of playing a lot of layers in Ruby Sunday that I'm very excited for everyone to see.
And quickly, can you tease any insights into the relationship between Ruby and the Doctor over the course of the season? Either of you?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Oh,
it's
where do you even start?
Platonic best friends.
Platonic best friends.
Lost souls and twin flames.
Yeah, absolutely. They're shared it. Nailed it. the shared experience of both being adopted, and that bonds them so quickly, and then they're both so adventurous and feisty. That bonds them even more, and they're in situations that are super high stakes. But then it progresses to I feel at times it's like siblings, like they're literally like brother and sister, best friends.
Yeah,
like they're paternal and maternal to each other. Oh my God, the way that Ruby challenges the Doctor to... Ruby's one of the companion, I feel like, is always a character that... The one character in the world or in the universe that the Doctor will allow to hold him. He struggles to be held, and Ruby brings that vulnerability, helps to bring the vulnerability out of him.
As the showrunner of Doctor Who, you've had a significant impact on its evolution over the years. What inspired you to bring in Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor, and what qualities were you specifically looking for in his iteration of the character?
Well, it's funny because it's like now you can see how brilliant it is. Anything I say is just hindsight, because I almost find it hard to remember what I was looking for, because he's just eclipsed everything you could have hoped for. I mean, you've seen him in action now. I'm so excited to be launching a Doctor who's so brilliant and fun and beautiful and detailed and heroic and brave and bold and emotional. So I suppose I was looking for all that, and maybe thinking I'd never meet it. I had, in many ways, I had no idea what I was looking for, because it's a program that's so led by the lead actor that you have to trust you'll find this year's genius. That's always been the casting of Doctor Who. It's like, who's the best person in the land right now? And normally you find those people are booked up. That's the hard thing. You often look at a long list of people you'd love to work with, going, well, sorry, they've just been cast in a movie franchise, or they've got their own drama playing their own sort of hero. And but the chances that Ncuti was just leaving Sex Education, had barely started to look for other work when we flagged up our interest, was so lucky, because honestly, if he'd flagged himself up to any other show, they would have grabbed him. I think we genuinely were first in line. So now I look at what he achieves with so much dexterity and so much joy and so much passion that it's properly a Doctor for 2024. I'm delighted.
Gatwa's casting as the first Black actor to play Doctor Who marks a significant milestone. Can you speak to the importance of diversity and representation in Doctor Who and how it contributes to the show's legacy?
Absolutely. I think we've always all tried our best to be diverse and inclusive, and that's always an ongoing battle. I hate to sound... There's no point at which you can stop and sound happy with what you've done, because there's always a new door. There's always a new horizon ahead. There's always a new problem to be battled, actually, and I literally am aware that I speak on behalf of an entire team, a casting director who's always determined to increase the show's diversity. So we didn't actually set out with an ironclad rule that the next Doctor would be Black. It was a hope. It was unashamedly hope. After 14 white actors, that was certainly in the air. And yet, you've got to keep all your options open. So we did audition all sorts of actors, men and women, all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of identifications. And equally, people freely happy to not identify themselves. You don't have to do that as an actor. You don't have to say who you are. You just have to come in and act. So it was a long process. I definitely did want young. I kind of had an instinct that... it's a tough old world, and I did want a young energy bursting out the screen, and that was a rough guideline in my head. I say that, if the perfect 60-year-old had walked into the room, we would have cast them. But then it simply happened that Ncuti was the last person into audition, and that sounds like a showbiz tale. It's absolutely true. He was the last person. In fact, we thought we'd cast someone else. We had a wonderful audition with someone else, bless them. And but then Ncuti walked in, and that was it. We literally knew within minutes that this was the right person. God, that was a good day. I loved that day.
How do you navigate balancing tradition with innovation when crafting new seasons of Doctor Who?
I kind of ignore it, really. It's not something that drives me mad. I mean, the tradition is inbuilt. There is a TARDIS, the Doctor's a Time Lord, or he identifies as a Time Lord now. There will always, in my book, be a human companion who steps on board. They will always face danger, and always in a different setting every week. So you can see how classic the show is. It's like, maybe there's a version of Doctor Who that rips up those rules, except I don't think that would be Doctor Who anymore. Having said that, one day there'll be a 21-year-old showrunner sitting here who will just prove everything I'm saying is nonsense, and that's a great thing. But for now, I carry that tradition with me. It's not ironclad. It's for a new Doctor in a new age, on a new platform. I'm not madly keen on old enemies coming back. I think we're trying to do new adventures, new scares. Hopefully we can create monsters and scares and villains who will be brought back in 30 years' time by that 21-year-old, if they fancy it. So the programme always demands invention, because the programme always demands that every week you land in a new setting. Something I do love doing is not just a new planet, not just a new time, but a new genre every week. So you can land in the middle of Space Babies, which is kind of wildly mad. It's almost farcical, but it's also like a children's story as well. There's great, the bones of fairy tales are built into that baby station. Then you do something like the Jinx Monsoon episode, which is extreme. It's a crazy chase. So that's simply following the rules of the program. Keep it lively every week. Keep it different.
All right. That's it for me. Thank you so much, Russell.
Thank you. Cheers.